our change management. Simple things like not having a pedestal that everyone...
We had to make some really big decisions, and so the first thing that we did was we got a working group together, which involved a lot of our senior leaders in the company. You need to know that from the start of the lease to the end of the lease, you're going to have enough space to grow.
Spaces, boardrooms.
Workplace strategy is a very broad category because it's got so many things like best practice, compliances, codes, and then it's got the actual functional brief as well as the design brief. So in order to sort of merge all of them together, it's quite a bit of a process where you'd have to go back and forth a little bit.
There's quite a small controlled group of people involved in that early investigation piece around the location itself and the floor plate. We came up with a few different options about how we would zone the space.
Following that, we did a survey to obviously really listen to what our team leaders were saying and saying about what they thought they needed right now, but also needed in the future.
It was really important to ensure that we weren't just capturing what we wanted the space to look and feel like, but we had to manage a lot of different expectations and a lot of different requirements across many teams. And that was great because it gave us a much deeper understanding of the different teams that we work with every day.
Yeah, this one's better. This one is better. Yeah, and then take that green one out. That can go in.
It was interesting to deal with the separate businesses while still making sure they felt connected, which then naturally led us to think about how we would contrast it for the studio and then unify some of the materials throughout the entire floor plate to make it really feel integrated, even though they are different spaces.
The overall design intent for the office was to create a hotel experience throughout the space for the McCormack side with the dark timbers and soft carpets, and then flowing through to the Studio 103 side, which was more of a wellness type of design inspired space with a lighter colour palette. We ordered samples and looked at the physical samples and how they looked in the daylight and all together as a whole pack, as well as generated 3Ds by implementing those finishes into a 3D model, and that helped visualise the overall space of the studio between McCormack and the Studio 103 side.
Being in the industries, we knew exactly all of the compliances, all of the goals and targets that we wanted to hit for people's mental health, people's well-being, design impact, and the overall wow factor.